Well, I've got an extremely exciting preamble to today's episode. And what we're going to find out, the great news is that, well, there's two great news. The first is that I just received in my hot virtual hand two fantastic CDs. And they are surround sound CDs, 5.1 DTS CDs, which of course means they don't have the high quality sound of an SACD or a DVD audio. But I'll tell you, these things sound pretty damn good. And what are they? The first one's Revolver. Yes, the one that can't be made into surround sound. Here it is in surround sound right here in my hot little hand. And the other one is unbelievable. It's the Yellow Submarine Songtrack. So that's not the album Yellow Submarine. Oh, God, with... No. It is the one that there was a stereo version made by a Peter Coblins that everyone says is the best sounding Beatles there is because it was made from the actual multi-tracks and remixed into a different stereo mix. That was the only time that's been allowed to happen. Well, maybe Love. Anyway, so somebody, and it's not clear on the artwork who, but somebody took that fantastic stereo 1999 Beatles disc, the Yellow Submarine Songtrack, which is the best stereo Beatles you're ever going to hear. And somebody mixed it into 5.1. And holy cow, it is just amazing. So that's the big announcement for tonight. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. What have we got? Where did it come from? It claims that it is manufactured in Bosnia-Herzegovina, and it comes to me by way of Mexico City. Okay. But interestingly enough, it does not come in any cases. There's no hard case. It's just soft wrapped and some very sophomoric, but nice artwork. The Revolver one has just the regular Revolver front and back, but with writing that looks like factory writing saying 5.1 DTS. The Songtrack one has a completely its own artwork that comes from a shot off of the DVD Yellow Submarine. So you take the two of those together and you get yourself two full Beatles albums of surround sound that Giles Martin says you can't have anywhere. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I've heard the Sgt. Pepper cuts off of the Yellow Submarine Songtrack, and they're just amazing. The Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the harpsichord starts completely out of the rear speakers. Nothing in the fronts. And from there, it goes to where all four and maybe five, I'll have to check, speakers are used to the full extent of the law. Just terrific. And the other songs on there, like Baby, You're a Rich Man, holy cow. All of the speakers are used on there. The horrendously awful. Think for Yourself, another George Harrison waste of time. But that's on there, and the sound quality is great. You know, some would say, well, hey, it can't be that great. It's only DTS. It's not Super Audio Compact Disc. But, you know, the sound quality that George Martin recorded with back then in 1968 was not the greatest. Really wasn't. And some of these were recorded only on 4-track or dueling 4 tracks, like the Sgt. Pepper items. But man, oh man, you should hear the sound quality. And that's the second part of this announcement is, next week, I'm going to play a couple of those cuts. Come hell or high water, you're going to have a chance to hear them. And because of the way YouTube works, if you listen to it on YouTube, and if you listen to it on Amazon Music, if you have a quad receiver, it will transcode it and send it out to your 5 speakers, and you'll be able to hear it. If you have a surround sound setup, you'll be able to hear it broadcast to your computer over the internet. And I can promise you, without any hesitation, that it'll blow your mind. That it will absolutely blow your mind. I will be checking in the meantime, see what kind of editing or any sort of warnings that we have to put out to make sure that nobody copies these and tries to sell them or anything like that, because that's definitely not going to happen. But next week's episode will be your chance to hear them. Instead of hearing me talk about them, which of course is next to wonderful. Hi, this is Glenn. I'm the host of the Lost Beatles Quadraphonic Tapes, and we are talking about them tonight and listening to them next week. We'll be listening to them, and you'll be able to see what is out there if only Giles Martin would get off his ass. Right? The obvious question some people are going to ask me is, well, hey, if I really dug in and searched and went everywhere through the internet, could I find a copy of these to buy for myself? And the answer, I think the answer to that is always yes. The internet is just a place where if you look long and hard enough, you'll find anything. I'm not saying it'll be easy, and I am not saying you should do so, but I am saying that, yeah, if you look long enough and hard enough, I think that's true of absolutely everything. You can find it on the internet. So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. And remember, you have to subscribe and ring that little bell, if there's a bell there, because that's what's going to tip you off that I've mounted this next episode, so that you can actually hear the Beatles in unbelievable surround sound from both Yellow Submarine and from Revolver. And I can just promise you, when you hear Only a Northern Song in actual 5.1, you'll flip. All right, I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.